A couple of weekends ago, I was down in San Diego with Dr. Warter. He doesn't say his name like that. I don't know why it came out that way. It was a beautiful experience, wonderful group of people. It was we had like 7 or 8 new faces, and so it was nice to have some new energy in there and hear about other people's stuff and what they're going through. And what was remarkable was, I took the medicine, and it was so subtle. And it's not supposed to be. Typically, this is the kind of thing that has you boom, knocked out,
knocks you out of the park.
Yeah, and my first experience with ayahuasca relative to the most recent one, different, and it was almost like it was a meditation. And is I was like, oh, is this it? This is, because then an hour later, I returned to a more ordinary state of consciousness. And then it just felt like a Tuesday. I was like, oh, it was really, really interesting. But the work was really interesting because what's pointed out is not necessarily what we want. It's more along the lines of what we need. And what came up for me and spent quite a bit of time working on was, my relationship with strong feminine energy. It could be my boss. It was my boss's boss, Meredith, my ex-wife. I find myself glomming on to strong women because the thinking is that I know how to operate well. Right. That's the story I tell myself. I work well with strong women.
That's the goal.
Sure. Another perspective is that I need a strong woman to be able to function, because I hand over a lot of things for them to mother me on, which is another really interesting experience. Yeah. And when I had closed my eyes and the medicine was starting to set in, this planet or an orb came in, and it was like, and all I heard was Pachamama. And I was unclear as to what Pachamama represented when this was going on. And then it was Meredith's face that was superimposed on the front of it, like a cartoon. Wow. And I was like, oh, we're working on relationship stuff today. It's that's really interesting. Not how I plan on spending that time. Right. But the sense that I got, amongst many other things, was wow, the realization of me needing strong feminine energy. It was multifaceted and multi-layered, but it became super, super clear to me that Meredith, in her role in our relationship as my wife, is very much serving as a mirror on the things I need to work on and how I communicate, what I'm communicating, what I'm putting on her. Am I treating this relationship as if it's a business transaction, right? Okay, fine, you can stay home and teach yoga full time as long as you do all the meal planning, do all the groceries, do all the budget, blah, 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 blah. And then when I would get frustrated about, money, or having to wanted to go spend money on a certain thing, and there would be this resentment that would come up and in the work. And I'm like, yeah, but you put her in that situation. You told her to run the budget, right? And I was like, oh, of course, which is probably so obvious to so many people. Yet for me, it was it's not what landed.